Well, one of the most infamous parts of the show, one that probably most people at least remember or they've seen at some point, it is time for the debut of Zombie.
This is probably the only thing people remember from this.
Ah, yeah, you're probably right.
Other than the fact that this was the first episode, like, the Zombie has surpassed this a million times over. He's actually the most over part of the show.
They should have kept the Zombie.
They should have. I mean, with how it goes, why not?
If the show was going to suck fucking balls big style, just keep the Zombie.
I mean, me as a sci-fi fan, I was so excited.
Tony, let him know.
Dude, so the zombie guy comes out, right? And
right.
He has this loud organ music, and I'm glad his music is really loud because the crowd does not react at all.
Okay, first off, Tony, I was very confused. I was looking at my other monitor as it came to this part, and I thought Hollywood Rock was here. This sounded like Hollywood Rock.
It does, yeah, you're right.
I was like, I thought it was Hollywood Rock, and I turned around, and it's a zombie. I said, what the hell is going on?
A bell rings, and Justin Roberts says, introducing the zombie. Everyone is confused. Taz on commentary and says, what, is this a rib, brother? Is this a rib?
He does just flat out with a rib right here, dude.
Yes, it is.
I spent a lot of time at ECW. I don't remember the zombie, this ugly looking SOB. I said, what the fuck?
So apparently this was supposed to be an alien.
Okay, so now we can talk about that now, right?
Yes.
All right, so according to the SandMan in a couple interviews here, so SandMan in a chat on his website said, first, he didn't know ECW was coming back until Dreamer called him in April. He claimed the zombie was originally supposed to be a Martian and then an Indian chief. Alvarez
the Indian
says,
chief
I do know
would have really hit it home, I think, for the sci-fi
and
fans.
then they hired Tatanka back, and it just didn't work out.
Dude, Tatanka was in the fucking
was in the
ECW versus WWE one.
Oh,
you remember at the very beginning?
that's right.
Tatanka was right beside Mick Foley. ECW!
right.
ECW!
What the fuck? You're right.
Shit, Tatanka, and they wanted
He
Tanaka.
probably was supposed to be on this.
They wanted Tanaka, they got Tatanka. Damn,
They
bro.
got Tatanka, man.
Alvarez says, I do know there was a plan to use an alien, but sci-fi wasn't down with an alien being beat up on their network.
You gotta protect your guys, and like that's really what put sci-fi over the top.
They protected their guys.
That's
WWE
really
did not
what
do
made
that.
me keep coming back to watch the Twilight Zone episode 300 because they really protected their IPs over there.
Sandman also said he talked to Raven, and Raven had no interest in coming to ECW. Not sure if WWE made him an offer, but I know they made offers to both Rhino and Spike Dudley, and both turned down offers, and did Angles turning down the offers at TNA house shows.
Was that tampering?
In another
tampering with their contracts?
I don't know if
bro?
they were
Tampering with
actually
the
signed.
alien.
Wow.
Tampering with the outworldly beings.
Stop,
That's
leave the aliens contract alone, you son of a bitch. we're in a goddamn war here. All right, we're in a goddamn war. Leave our contracts alone.
Versus Raw.
They will not.
We got the
pick a
zombie
side, alien.
We got the zombie and the alien. Do not
Pick a
fuck with
side.
their contracts, you fucking piece of shit.
Dude, sci-fi protecting their characters better than ECW protected their own guys is unbelievable.
Because aliens fucking over as fuck. All right,
That's true, you're
they got
right.
a whole network out of it. ECW can't even stay on air fucking for more than 4 years.
In another interview, Sandman said the first choice before deciding on the zombie was an alien, and the second choice was a cook of some sort to spoof the Food Network.
I like that. I like that. You get the alien, the zombie. You got Gordon Ramsay, and
Maybe
the
that was
Indian
supposed to be
chief.
maybe it was supposed to be Indian chef. Is what that was supposed to
Oh
be.
yeah, that's true.
Gordon Ramsay. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it could have been Tony. You're right.
I like that stable. The zombie, the alien, they'll probably be way more over than just incredible. The alien, the zombie.
It should have been a stable. That's the new breed. The zombie, the alien, and Gordon Ramsay.
It's a new breed of
and
human.
the Indian chief.
Literal new breed.
That's all I always used to tell my mom. That's why I'm watching sci-fi. She's like, why are you watching sci-fi right now? I was like, I'm watching it for the alien, the zombie, the Indian chief, and the chef.
And the Food Network. I hate the Food Network. Did Sci-Fi have heat with the Food Network? Was that like the opposing brand?
I like that. I like that. Bury the opposing network. They got wrestling more than Vince McMahon did. Sci-Fi really.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi should have just started their own company. Fuck WWE. They should have just done their own shit.
Yeah, fuck ECW and fuck the Food Network. Emerald Lagasse these nuts.
Dude, I guarantee whatever Sci-Fi put on TV would have been better than this fucking show. They could have had the zombie, the alien, the chief, the chef. Fucking everybody would have cooking.
Chief and Chef.
Both of them?
The tag team. The tag team.
You got the Sci-Fi 6. Like, we're really cooking right now. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
With Rob Van Dam. Whoa, it spins.
Well, Just Incredible's not on this show. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's true. Sorry about that, man. That's a bummer.
Well, ECW.
ECW's got he with Guy Fieri or something. I don't know what's going on over there.
Tony, what promo does the zombie?
Oh,
Because the zombie
you
gets
want
in
me
the
to
ring
tell
and cuts
you?
a
I got
promo
a
here.
word for word written down here.
Yeah, please
I wrote
let
the
us
promo
know.
because in case I know James doesn't like writing promos down, but
Don't miss any part of it.
so he comes out and he goes, and he pauses and he goes, and he looks again and he goes,
Yeah, he was spitting. At this point, I was like, damn, he is talking.
Hold on.
He does change it up. He does. Watch out,
Then
James.
he's
He changes
shooting
it
on
up
the
a
Food
little.
Network, which I could not believe, and he goes,
That part got me too.
As well, Tony.
he goes, "Raw."
And then he points at the hard cam as well, and then he goes, oh. And then he says, Emma Lagasse, you bitch. Rachel Ray, fuck you. Fuck you.
Now that would have been sick. And the zombie said, "Oh, fuck you, Rachel Ray, you son of a bitch!
And then he goes,
Martha Stewart, suck these nuts!
Sci-fi D's nuts.
You fucking bitch!"
Cross the line. Cross the line.
He draws a line in the sand. Cross it, I dare you.
Dude, so listen to this, man. I can't believe this shit. So zombie in ECW, the zombie has to grab the mic and cut a promo because even in WWE, a fucking zombie has to cut a promo. This is unfucking believable.
It's a shoot zombie. This is not like no one played it up like, oh, this is a guy.
It was
This is
Dusty.
a real zombie. He was stinky little guy.
He was Dusty
Stinky
Rhodes.
little. That was a Dusty finish.
Dusty Knuckles.
No way. No way.
So, of course, Sandman comes out.
Enter Sandman, right? No, enter
There's, Tony, there's no fucking way they were ever
not
going
gonna
to license that song. For one, this fucking show, and two, for this guy that's not going to be hired here for more than a year and a half.
That's true.
So Sandman comes out. The crowd is very confused because they were promised an alien, and not only that, they didn't get it. They got a zombie and a Sandman, and they're also very confused.
Sandman, yeah, he's doing his entrance.
And nobody's reacting.
Style.
Am I losing my mind here? No one is reacting.
No,
to
no
this.
one really. Well, there's a lot of. This is just a WWE show, so there's like a lot of families and shit here. There's not really ECW fans here. There's just a bunch of families here that wanted to watch SmackDown.
Yeah,
and
you're
they're here
right.
for fucking ECW. And Sandman's here, and he's drinking beer at the top of the fucking nosebleeds, bleeding all over people, spitting beer on people's fucking children.
Yeah, I guess part of the appeal for that was like everybody was drinking in ECW, and like they just wanted to sing the song.
Yeah.
There's no lyrics.
This is just a guy.
So no lyrics.
Yeah, no lyrics.
The coolest part
They
about
couldn't have
Sandman
gave the guy lyrics or nothing. They couldn't
Dude.
have come up with like a lyrics for this.
Motorhead did a cover of Sandman. Why couldn't they do it? Why couldn't they use Motorhead's version?
I'm not giving him.
Well, I got an answer for you. Lemmy, brother, is not for you. Lemmy is for
Lemmy's
me.
my friend.
Imagine that actually he
you.
actually pitched it like Triple H had to agree. Nah, man.
Yo, can I use Motorhead? No.
Shut the fuck up.
Not on that show. We're gonna turn you into the ECW ball again.
So this was never gonna work. This what are we? 20 minutes in? 20 minutes in?
Yes,
20 minutes
that's about
in.
right. Yeah.
This was never gonna work. This whole show
This
is
is the
never
first
gonna
match
work.
on the show.
Yeah, this is the first match they ever show on ECW. This is never gonna fucking work.
This is the first match in ECW
This
history.
show, they should have put this match in the dirt. They should have put the show in the dirt right there. They should have cut the
Yeah,
fucking
you're
feed
right.
to the show and just done it all dark match style and just called it a day.
If this is your first time watching the Sandman, you're probably very confused as well. Here's a guy that looks like the Sandman. He's smashing beer over his head. He's got a cane. He also has a tattoo of himself on his arm and also has his face on his shirt. He has 3 pictures of himself. And then he's just coming in from the crowd. And Joey Styles is talking about him beating up a prison guard and getting arrested for longer. What the hell is going on
He was
here?
in solitary confinement. Did he say that? Was that true?
That's what they said,
Spent
yeah,
6
that's
months
right.
in solitary confinement for punching
That was
a prison
they were
guard?
actually hyping up Monsters Ball. That's what they were doing.
This had no chance. Not even a little bit. I don't think it had
No.
anything even close to resembling a chance of working. Sandman does his whole shtick, including busting himself open and almost falling off the barricade twice.
He almost fell down the stairs on the way fucking down to the ring.
Sandman gets in the ring, the bell rings, he brains the zombie with the kendo stick. He then gets on his knees and beats the fuck out of the zombie. White Russian, he does a white Russian leg sweep on the zombie and then slips on the mat.
Dude, it's the gnarliest white Russian leg sweep I think he's ever hit. I feel like I thought he was gonna get concussed the guy, and also then a bunch of fucking dust flies off the zombie when he hits the mat.
Because he is a shoot zombie.
He's a stinky little.
They should have kept pushing the
little
zombie. You guys fucking.
You're right. The zombie
I
was
agree.
like money for me.
If
a
I'm sci-fi,
fan.
I'm taking you off the network for burying the zombie. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I'm putting the zombie over, and he's teaming with the alien.
Why didn't the zombie just beat Sandman? Who the fuck cares? Everybody else in the show got their ass kicked. It's not like Sandman was ever like a fucking. You know what I mean? Sandman always
Listen,
won
you have
because
to
of some
protect the
bullshit.
Sandman. We're protecting the Sandman.
Well, you should have protected him by not having a match. Sandman is
he
still.
wins.
Yeah, of course Sandman wins because he got his big push coming up for this big WWE run.
Of course.
Who does he face in WWE?
He's got to wrestle. I mean, he's the one Sandman thing that I remember is him being a part of the "Who is Vince McMahon's son" thing.
Oh, yeah,
and he
I
stayed in the
forgot
ring for
about
longer
that,
than he was
yeah.
supposed to. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really know. He probably wrestles Big Dick the Cock Johnson. I think he does
I
a
know
thing
that
with
shit.
him.
Oh, he has a program with Mike Knox. I think he does stuff with Mike
Oh,
Knox.
because he wanted Kelly Kelly, or
Dude,
he was helping
go,
Kelly Kelly.
We can go through his whole goddamn ECW run
Oh, you got it?
right here. Yeah.
Okay, let me hear it.
Yeah, all right. So he starts off 2006 style. Bunch of dueling cane matches with just incredible. I mean,
In WWE?
in ECW.
Oh, sorry.
WWE
Okay.
House shows.
Yeah,
shows.
okay,
They were
sure,
doing
sure,
house
sure.
shows.
Yes.
So
Okay, sure.
Sandman beats the Zombie on ECW on Sci-Fi number 1. The Sandman beats Macho Libre on ECW on Sci-Fi number 2.
Savages.
Who's just savage on
That's just
that.
Macho TX.
So
Oh, you know who that was? Macho Libre was Tony DeVito of DeBaldi's.
oh, great. Well, he's not working here no more.
No,
so
he's out of here.
Now it's time for the house show loop of dueling cane matches with Just Incredible. We get back. He hasn't been on TV for 4 weeks now. And then he loses to Mike Knox in 2 minutes. Then he
Okay.
loses to Mike Knox, or he beats Mike Knox by DQ. Now
Okay.
he's teaming against Mike Knox with Tommy Dreamer and Test. I think did we see that one?
I feel like we did see
I
that.
feel like we saw that one. House
Yeah.
show loop. Mike Knox and the Sandman. We go back to another 2-on-1 handicap. Mike Knox and Test versus the Sandman.
Oh,
We
no.
got the house
bro.
show loop with Mike Knox and the Sandman. And we got Test.
Fuck!
Dude, for the rest of his career, it's just Mike Knox and Test. That's Test, Mike
What's
Knox.
his last WWE match?
He actually has. Okay, first off, he has a match with Big Show, 7 minutes. ECW World
We saw
Title
that.
match. We watched.
We
that.
watched that. Yeah.
We watched that, and it was
On Patreon.
Yeah, interesting. Matt Stryker starts getting into the mix here. Of course, we got to start doing Matt Stryker.
New breed,
the-
right? That's
for
him
the
and like Elijah Burke and all that.
December pay per view, of course.
Yes.
Sandman and Matt Stryker, Singapore cane on a pole.
Right.
Indeed. So they had Sandman go overseas in Scotland and face Matt Stryker in a
That's-
Singapore cane match.
That's impressive that he was even allowed to go over there.
Sandman had he went on a loop in Italy or something in Scotland. I don't know what they were
the
doing
fuck?
over there.
Okay.
House show loop again. Davari and the Great Khali versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer.
What the fuck?
They had bass George Murdoch.
Okay.
Which of course is Brodus Clay. On house show loops, it was Rob Van
Beat
Dam.
Sandman?
It was Rob Van Dam and the Sandman versus George Murdoch, which is Brodus Clay, Kevin Thorne, and Mike Knox. And then he pretty much just loses the rest of his career.
He gets drafted to
Really?
Raw at one point, I remember. Sandman
does.
gets drafted to Raw.
But does he wrestle?
Yeah, he
on
does.
Raw?
Yeah,
He has a battle royale. Oh, he had 2 battle royales. But yeah, he had a couple of matches. He faced Carlito once.
He did a Singapore
William
cane match
Regal?
with Carlito too.
On Raw?
Now let me ask you this: Carlito and the Sandman, William Regal and the Sandman and Carlito again. All of them are DQ. Does he just cane them? All of them
I think he probably does.
for 3 weeks in a row?
He probably does.
Holy
yeah, I
shit, this
think
sounds
that's
crazy.
probably Right.
Carlito and William Regal versus Jim Duggan and the Sandman on Raw.
Oh. Wow.
Singapore cane on a pole. They did this twice. This was at the Great American Bash. 5 minutes
They did-
versus Carlito.
Carlito and Sandman had a pay-per-view match?
Singapore cane on a pole. Let's see what
Great
let's see
American
what the-
Bash 2007.
What?
What do the inmates rate this? It's probably pretty high.
Yeah, right?
Okay, here we go. We got
They
2,
didn't.
He said, all right, this was random as hell. This match isn't good and is a pure burial of someone who's supposed to be a badass. This guy said, this was an awful match. It was a boring match to put Carlito over a veteran babyface. The fans were dead because they knew nothing interesting was going to happen until they got to Kane. Then it was a heel finish with no Kane shots to pop the crowd. Dude,
Holy shit.
there was no Kane shots?
What?
It was a
That's
heel.
WCW style, baby.
It was a heel finish with no Kane shots.
That's just the same thing WCW did.
What the hell?
So what's his last WWE match?
Yeah, Sandman versus Santino, Monday Night Raw.
What, he hit Santino with a cane too?
I don't know. He won that match by DQ. So Santino. Somebody probably interfered. I'm guessing.
Oh, maybe it was probably Umanga.
This was, what was this, August or September? September 10th, 2007 was his last.
So he lasts a year.
Yeah, looks like it.
He probably goes through his year contract and then that's
he goes
it.
to his year and they do not renew.
Interesting, huh?
Wow. Okay.